Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast, episode 81. Tonight, we are talking about Harry Potter. We're talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We're talking about Mario Kart 8 booster tracks. All that and more. Fellow Nintendo Pals, I am Andros, and I am joined almost each and every week, except for last week, by my fellow Nintendo Pal, co-host, and all-around awesome guy, Micah.
Yep.
And Micah, I have got to ask, how the heck are you doing? You were... Oh, go ahead.
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, you were very missed in last week's episode. We had a lot of people asking where is Micah?
Yeah, then you have to go and get that Eli guy. Must have been pretty rough.
Yes. Well, speaking of Eli guy, he started his own podcast this week. So for those that are interested in hearing an all-around gaming podcast, check out Barely a Gaming Podcast. There's a colon in between the Barely and a Gaming Podcast. It's pretty great little show. I wish he could have shouted it out, but they actually hadn't started it yet, so he didn't shout it out in last week's episode. Super fun, and yeah, things are going good. We had a good time. I think our Mario ranking list ended up very different than what it would have been like if you were here. Probably for the best.
Many betrayals.
Many betrayals. Oh man. Well, we've got a lot to talk about tonight, but before we do, let me go over some of the cool things we got going on here, because we got 2 new 5-star reviews for our podcast. Micah, you want to give a shout out to the one we got on Apple?
Yep, a 5-star review by XJohnX84. He said, "Do you like Nintendo? Then you'll like these pals. Hashtag Team Micah." So we know they're a real swell guy.
I love the 5-star review. I'm a little less enthusiastic on the taking sides, right in your review. That's permanent. I guess you can probably change it. Or you could leave a 5-star review if you haven't left one before. So hop on down. If you're listening to us on iTunes, Podchaser, Spotify, Audible, all of those places have spots to leave a 5-star review. It helps the show get discovered by new people and makes us feel good about ourselves, or makes Micah feel good about himself in this case.
Just a little extra good about myself.
He's just feeling extra good. Oh man. And we also got another 5-star review on Spotify. Those are anonymous and they don't have written reviews there yet, but thank you, random citizen. Fellow Nintendo pal, you are awesome. That brings our total up to 26 5-star reviews on Spotify, and I believe we're at 35 on Apple, so that's pretty neat. But over 40% of our audience listens on Apple Podcasts, and not everybody over there's left a 5-star review. So if you want to join the cool kids club and become the most palliest of Nintendo pals, you can hop on down. Just scroll down and leave us a 5-star review. It's easy to do. Write some words, or don't. You don't have to write words, but you can still leave a 5-star review. We really appreciate it, and seriously helps us a ton. Thanks to everybody who's done that already. And then, as always, we are shooting for 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and 1,000 followers on Twitch. And we are getting up there on Twitch. We're at 250 just about new followers on Twitch. So that's exciting. YouTube needs to catch up. So hop on over and give us a sub on YouTube for some amazing video content. We take our streams and condense them into like a really YouTube friendly format. You're not going to sit there and watch a 2-hour stream on YouTube. So it's like taking those things that we do on stream and condensing them into really like
Just
a lot
the
of the streams I
highlights,
do.
so we look
Yeah.
really good at what we're
Well, a
doing.
lot of the streams I do have an intentional, like, this is going to be a video. You know what I mean? Like, we did that Chef of the Wild speed run. I did the Breath of the Wild with just my nose. That sort of stuff. Micah did that Mario Maker one and a couple others. So yeah, it's great stuff over there. I'm also starting to work on some video essays, so stay tuned for those. But enough about all this self-promoty stuff. Let's head into the first segment of our show because we got a lot to talk about in What You Playing. Alrighty. Micah, it's been a whole week since, well, a whole 2 weeks since those listening have heard from you. So why don't you give us what have you been playing? What were you playing while you were out and about?
It's a good question. What have I been playing? Well, I played some Mario Kart 8 earlier today, just a little bit. Played some Rocket League. There's one right on the tip of my tongue, and I can't. I'm like brain farting so hard. Well, I played some more Metroid Dread, some of the Dread mode.
Oh, nice. How are you liking that?
That's fun. At times, I'm too careless running to random places. I'm usually like, it's one of those little flying dudes. I don't really care if I get hit by one of those because they do so little damage, but then I just die. So I'm learning to take it a little slower and not just barrel through everything.
That is a good call because I feel like that's where I would die the most, is not even in like the boss battles. It'd be like to just like this little random enemy on the side. And I'm like, it's fine. I'm not gonna get hurt here.
Or those guys that like to burrow out of the wall and fly to a different hole.
Oh,
those ones are fun.
I did not like those in just the regular game. I can't imagine in Dread mode. The true enemy of Metroid.
For real.
Nice. And then you also played some Paper Mario. I did watch you stream some of that.
I had already forgotten. I played once again, streamed some Paper Mario. Got to Bowser's Castle, so I should potentially be finishing that up next time.
Oh, stay tuned for Micah's next stream, who should be this next Thursday. You'll be beating Paper Mario for the first time.
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, you've allocated all of your experience points into badge points. We'll see how well that strategy pays off in the end.
Yeah, unfortunately, I reached my max badge points real fast, and now I have to put them in other places.
Yeah, like health. Like it's fine that you finally have more than 5 health.
You don't need a lot of health if you got a lot of badges.
That's like in Breath of the Wild. Like I was like, I don't need hearts, stamina all the way. I was like,
just
3 hearts.
Convenience.
It is. Oh man. Well, that's awesome. I also played Mario Kart because we did that with the community. We were playing some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the new booster pack courses with 8 new levels. What do you think of the new levels? You're new to the game altogether. You just recently got the game.
Yep, although I did have it on the Wii U.
True.
But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed all the levels. They're pretty good.
On brand. I thought they were really good. I especially like the Ninja Castle. I can't remember exactly what that one's called. Like Ninja Palace, something like that.
It has ninja in the name. Yeah, that one's fun, but at the same time, I was really trying to hit you with all these items, and it has so many branching paths that made that difficult. So that was a little bit of a bummer.
I don't think it has too many branching paths. It just has 2 tracks, essentially. One on the upper part of the course and one below, and you can transfer between the 2 a lot by doing different things, like taking air pipes up. There's steps, and you can just kind of bounce back and forth. So it is easy to dodge attacks and get shelled out of nowhere because you come up some steps and boom, there you go.
Yep.
But I really like the course design. Now that one is from Mario Kart Tour, but as we were playing with the All In crew, check out their podcast, an awesome show. They were saying that it's actually a special event course from Tour, so it's no longer in Tour. It was only there for a short time, but now it is permanently a course in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And they don't say that it's from Tour in the pack, so to kind of treat it like it's own thing.
From the void.
It's from the void, from the vault, the Nintendo vault. And yeah, there's also like a Paris course I thought was really fun. Choco Mountain looks completely different to me. I feel like I've played that fairly recently. I played that one a whole bunch on the N64 as a kid, and it was like so different looking. But still had those annoying boulders.
Any of them, so it all looks normal to me, except the Coconut Mall. Someone pointed out the cars don't move back and forth before the finish line,
and they don't have Mii's. Boosters. They don't have Mii's in them anymore. Now there's Shy Guys in the cars. So maybe sad. That's why they don't move anymore. Shy Guys can't drive, but Mii's can.
Possible.
Yeah,
or
that was
a
big bummer.
A danger to society, essentially.
I know, they're phasing them out. It's like Nintendo Switch Sports. They're like, they're going to be a side thing that you can have, but they're not the main thing. And now they've just completely taken them out of this game. And I'm a little sad. And maybe one of the reasons I'm a little sad is because one of the games I have been playing is Miitopia. And oh my gosh, I love this game. It is so fun. I am having such a good time. This week was very exciting. I'm playing this one on stream, so I say we, like me and chat. We're experiencing it together, and we saved Prince Wario, who was trapped on his journey to castle to see his betrothed princess.
To castle?
To a castle, yeah. And the princess, when we got there, the whole castle had been ransacked by Dark Lord Kirby.
Oh no.
And
I feel like Kirby could really ransack something well.
Yeah, yeah. And he stole the princess's face. So then we had to go to this creepy dark tower.
That's not too off-brand for Kirby, though.
It's true. We had to go to this creepy tower and save the princess's face. And along the way, we unlocked a new costume for Micah, the Muscle Man suit. And for that,
so it wasn't like it was like Macho Man or something, wasn't it?
Macho Man, yeah, muscle? Macho Man. It was like Macho Man costume or something like that. Yeah, I don't.
By costume, it essentially means I have no shirt on, and I'm ripped.
Yes. So Micah's guy is just wearing pants and suspenders, and is just ripped, like super muscly me, and it is the funniest thing I have ever seen.
It's kind of horrifying. It took me literally like 10 seconds of looking at it to like decipher that they were supposed to be muscles. I was like, what are all these like weird squiggly lines?
I cried. I laughed so hard when your character put it on. It was just so funny, and I don't think that will ever be going away. I think you will be having that for the rest of the game. I don't know how they could top it. Yeah. So there's that. My character is currently wearing a chicken costume. I think I might have switched him up though. He's looking like a pirate now. It's just so wacky and goofy and random, and yeah, highly recommend Miitopia. It's the gameplay itself is not super complex, but it's a fantastic one for streaming or for just kind of a relaxing playthrough. A lot of it kind of auto plays. You really only control your character in the party. But it's so fun to watch and just be like, what are you doing? Why are you using this move? Or you send a character to go shopping with the gold, and they, instead of buying the armor they said they were going to buy, they come back with a banana. Just looking at you, Blondie. Did that like 3 times. It was like just Blondie's character did that. It was pretty funny. And yeah, so we have chat come in, and they, if there's a point where we can add Mii's, the people in chat will ask to be added into the party or in as the characters, and that just makes it a lot more fun to play. But we also are just adding in random characters. Like we got Kronk in there, we got Brock, we're looking for a spot to put in SpongeBob. We have Goku and Vegeta, who, yeah, their job is to lift the very fat king, who is Skeletor. So of course,
Nice.
this is just a great game. Just a great game. So memeable. Besides that, I played some more Mario Party Superstars. Enjoying the heck out of that game. I think it's a blast to play. And also played through the special world in Super Mario Bros. Or not Super Mario, Super Mario World on SNES Online.
Nice.
And
How'd
yeah,
that go?
I learned something new. I learned that you can beat all of those levels and keep a Yoshi. As a kid, I think it was the second or third level. There was just points where I'm like, there's no way you can't. You have to ditch the Yoshi in order to do these jumps, because with the Yoshi you can't fly forever. You can't do the glide swoopy thing. I'm like using my hands for the audio listeners.
Yeah, it looks just like this too. You look like a DJ
Yeah.
or something.
You can fly and skip most of the level, but when you're riding a Yoshi, you just kind of slowly glide down once you hit your peak height. So there are points where it just didn't seem possible, but it totally was if you have a blue Yoshi, because you can eat Koopas and sprout wings and fly. So It was kind of a challenge for me. I'm like, well, I'm going to bring this blue Yoshi through the entire thing, and I did. And then just kept playing. I was just playing through Super Mario World. People talk about comfort food. Like, this is what I go back to eat when I just want something comfort in, that bowl of ice cream from the freezer kind of thing, or like mom's cooking.
What? There's a different place you might get your bowl of ice cream?
That's true. No, I don't have another place where I get my bowl of ice cream.
I was wondering, maybe there's some new revolutionary meal with ice cream not from a freezer.
No, it's from the freezer. Where I was going with this was Mario World is my comfort food for gaming. Like that's my game that I just go back to and always have a good time playing. It's my childhood right there. And yeah, that's about all I had time to. Oh no, wait! I also played a bunch of Fortnite because the season is ending as the day of the recording ends tomorrow. So I have a little bit of time left. I just need to gain a few more levels to get an extra Spider-Man costume. So
I think I'd have to gain approximately 45 to 55 levels to unlock Spider-Man.
Oh,
so
it's not that hard at this point because I wasn't playing very actively. So I have a whole bunch of season challenges,
You drop from the van and take 7 steps and complete several challenges.
Seriously, I was leveling up 10 levels every match. I was strategically going to places on the map where there were a bunch of challenges to do, and I just do them. Yeah, that was, and I'm having a good time with it, but not enough to feel like I'm back into it. But it's still fun.
Yeah, I was kind of back into it for 2 weeks, and then I haven't played it since.
Well, new season. I'm sure you and I will jump on for the season-ending event and for the new season start as well.
Yeah,
because there's always fun stuff going on with that. But that's it. That is everything I've been playing. Well, what do you say we jump into? We've got a ton to talk about in the Nintendo news. Alrighty, Micah. So, first bit. This is pretty new news. Pretty new news. I guess that makes sense. I think we were one of the first people to see this, thanks to Monkey Thunder over on Discord. Hogwarts Legacy has been announced to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. And the Amazon listing for it makes it appear as if it is a native port, not a cloud version. How is it witchcraft?
Switch Pro.
Is it witchcraft? Is it switchcraft? Switch Pro. Don't get no,
Yeah,
we're not in the rumor mill.
that
This is
doesn't
the
need to
news
happen.
section. So, with the did you get a chance to look at the trailer for Hogwarts Legacy?
I looked through most of it, but without sound.
Oh, okay. So
But
you going just off looks. What'd you think?
I thought it looked pretty good. I will say a couple of the places did look kind of drab looking, but I guess that kind of makes sense. They did seem to be dungeony areas, but they
Yeah.
had other areas that were more colorful and looked nice.
All right. Well, I give kind of an overview. There was 20-ish minutes of gameplay shown in a PlayStation State of Play. PlayStation's been like heavy promoting this one. In the game, you will be starting as a fifth-year student. For those that are not into the Harry Potter lore, isn't there 7? How many
7
years?
years, I think.
7 years. Oh
At
man, I'm not.
Hogwarts.
I'm. It's been a while since I read those books. 7 years. So you're starting in the middle of the schooling, and that's where you're starting. You didn't go to Hogwarts prior to this fifth year. Your
Oh, I see.
character seems to be wrapped up in a plot where they can sense and use special ancient magic. I mean, the level design and the vistas are beautiful, and it looks like it's going to be like the dream Harry Potter game, like the Harry Potter game you wanted if you wanted a Harry Potter game as a kid, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
And
it
it
definitely seems to
does,
have a lot of potential.
yeah, it does specifically state that it is open world on the website. So that's cool. But it did show off a lot of dungeony areas as well. So it looked like it's open world, but that connects to lots of different cave areas to explore.
Kind of Skyrim like, sounds like.
Yes. Yeah. Um so then with this, I want to hit on something here. And we're not gonna dive too deep into this because this show is one that is all about positivity. And we're not like always 100% positive on stuff, but we don't, if we don't feel great about something, we tend to just
Ocarina
not.
of Time.
If we don't feel great about something, we tend to not talk about it unless you're Micah and it is Ocarina of Time. But reception of this game has been met with some controversy. This is because J.K. Rowling's public comments have caused some to question supporting the game in any way. So be careful in your discourses online about this one because there are very strong voices on both sides of the fence on this. So just a heads up and warning that the online discourse around this one is marred with
A
controversy.
minefield.
Yeah. I'm not going to share any sort of like specific opinion here, but I do know that there are people listening to this podcast that probably feel very strongly against supporting the game, and there are probably those that feel very strongly in favor of supporting the game. So I don't know. I'm just kind of the mind where it's like I just enjoy games the way you want to enjoy games, I guess. If you don't feel like supporting it, then don't. But we're not gonna dwell too much on that aspect of it. Personally, I loved the Harry Potter books as a kid. This is what got me into reading as a kid, and I think that's the case for a lot of people. And when I looked at the the initial teaser trailer for this game, it was overwhelmingly positive comments and people just really excited to jump back into the world of Harry Potter. So yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of potential for really cool things you can do with the lore of
with
Harry
with
Potter.
the IP, yeah,
And I think my favorite part of the like trailer I saw was at one part they were like being kind of sneaky and they seemed to like stun two people and then suddenly they just lassoed a third person from far away and appeared to just blow them up, which seemed very out of character for what had happened in the previous 10 seconds.
I did like that the stun was that one thing. I
Did they
can't
use
remember
the
what the
Mandrake?
spell. I can't remember what the
There's
spell name is, but Hermione does it to Neville in one of the
Totalis
movie in the
to
Petrificus Totalis. You're
Petrificus,
right,
yeah.
yeah. And they did that, and they did like the characters did the animation and like fell over stiff board. So it seems like regardless of how you feel about supporting the game, that they're doing a good job with the IP, the makers of the game. They are definitely very passionate about the world and sticking with it, trying to like make it close in line with the books and movies. Hopefully more with the books. I'm personally not a fan of the movies. I could go on that, man.
But the
I
question
was
is, how do you feel about Dumbledore yelling at Harry Potter
oh my
about
gosh.
putting his name in the Goblet of Fire?
Dumbledore said calmly, "Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?"
Yeah, did you know that's just how Dumbledore
That's
talks
very
all
calm.
the time?
That's very
That's the
calm.
calm
I
version
am
of
calm.
Dumbledore.
Yeah, I liked the original Dumbledore more than the replacement actor for him. But I think the replacement actor did a great job. If he had been there the whole time, you wouldn't have had anything to compare it to and been like, "Oh, he's pretty good."
Yeah, it seemed like original Dumbledore was a little more in line with the books, but then the movies just kind of seem to get a little further away from the books at that point, anyways. So I feel like
Yeah,
I
which was
can't really
so
blame it
lame.
on the actor,
Which was so
but who
lame
knows?
because they were like, you know what? Why would they wear robes at school? Let's put them in modern clothes. They're just gonna wear Converse and like modern jackets and stuff. And it's like, what? Why? When yeah. So also the whole geography of the school changed this year. By the way, Hagrid's cabin's
It's
now like three
magic.
miles, 3 miles
They got
away.
all those moving staircases, and also other things move apparently.
Yeah, everything changes. Oh man. But yeah, I'm actually very excited for this game. Let's talk about it being on the Switch though. Like, well, what
Yeah, I mean,
this was out of
has
left
this been
field.
like officially announced? I've heard it
Yes,
lists it on their website and on
specifically
Amazon.
specifically in the Q&A section of their website, what platforms will this be on? And Switch is in the platforms, along with PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, Switch, and PC. So it's launching on everything. But
Supposedly, you
you
never
look at it
know
and you're
though
like,
that
how?
that
Because
this has happened at one point in the past. I don't remember what game it was where they said they were coming to Switch and they were actually not.
yeah.
But I mostly believe it, but there's that little grain of doubt in my mind that maybe someone just made a mistake.
So I instantly thought that okay, it's going to be a cloud. It's going to be a cloud version of the game, just because it looks very based off the PlayStation trailers. It looks very graphically intensive, like very unlike anything that is currently on the Switch in any form besides cloud.
Yeah,
I think the best looking game like that is probably Witcher 3, potentially Doom as well, where it's got kind of that more hyper realistic look to it. But even
yeah,
those look a
Witcher.
little muddy by comparison to everything else. So
Yeah,
I'm excited to see how it looks on Switch.
yeah. It seems like
And
a fair amount of work will have to go into like porting it to Switch.
but can we just applaud the fact that they're doing a native port? I think that that's really commendable, and hopefully will lead to some good sales on Switch. I
Yeah,
think
I hope it does well.
anybody that has a different platform will probably buy it elsewhere. But I think I'm probably going to get it on Switch just because that's my primary gaming platform. Even though I have a gaming PC, I will probably still go with the Switch version.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know if they have any cross-platform saves. I kind of doubt it. But
If
if they
they do,
did, there might be some more double dipping.
yep. I mean, a ton of people did that for Divinity, uh, Original Sin 2,
Oh yeah, I
because
forgot that
that
did
one did
have
have,
cross
yep,
saves.
that one had cross saving. So, yeah, I mean, especially coming off of the sort of negative experience that was the Kingdom Hearts Cloud releases. I was so excited to play them, but the more I saw and the more I looked into it, I just was like, I can't. I don't think I will enjoy my time playing it on the Switch like this. Plus, I feel like it's doing so bad that it will probably go on sale. So I'll just wait. I'll just wait to if I want to get those. And I just don't have time to play anything else at the moment. But coming off of those being cloud versions, to see a brand new, beautiful looking game like Hogwarts Legacy coming to Switch as a native port is really refreshing, and I applaud the that decision. I wish that more would do it. I think that there's kind of a mixed reaction to that. A lot of people are like, "Oh, well, it's gonna run like trash on the Switch," and blah blah blah. Blah. I'm like, is there
then
no winning? It's like,
then
yeah,
don't
yeah.
get it on the Switch.
Is there
That's
no
your
winning?
opinion.
You complain if it's on cloud. You complain if it's native. I mean, I think what people want is Switch Pro. But listen, that's not on the Hogwarts Legacy team. They're not making the Switch Pro.
Well, if you just like glue some Joy-Con to the sides of like a your computer monitor and also have a, PC with you, it's practically a Switch Pro. You said the
Or
PC tower in your backpack or something.
there's
You can take it on the go.
The Steam Deck is
Who
also
cares
an
about that? Boo.
also an option. Yeah, we don't talk about that here. Oh, we don't talk about Steam Deck. Um, that's that's all that I have to talk about with Hogwarts Legacy. Are you thinking you'll pick this one up?
Maybe eventually.
Maybe eventually. I think this one's a pretty day one buy for me. I did, I am a big fan of the books, and so is my wife. So I think we'll both enjoy playing through that one together. It just looks like a really cool story, and I would like to have more of that. That isn't what they've been giving through Fantastic Beasts and all the other stuff they've been going. So that's that's my take.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
kind of hoping it goes on sale after like maybe a year or something. I can get it for pretty cheap.
yeah. I mean, a lot of these games do. These aren't Nintendo first party, so they'll go on
So
sale.
yeah, you got to remember that if you only buy like Nintendo first party things, other games actually do go on sale.
Well, so that's a um, third party IP, pretty big IP coming to Switch. But another big IP is coming to Switch as well, and that is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And we are getting a TMNT collection. I believe it's called the Cowabunga collection.
Oh, right on.
You want to verify that for me before I just totally gun like coming in confident, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And it will come with almost every old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collection or game in this collection, like
It
ever.
looks like the Cowabunga collection.
It will have 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh
and
gosh,
the different versions
there's so
of
many.
those. So there will be Turtles in Time, which is the one I like. That's what I grew up with, and it will have the arcade version, which means 4 player. I think.
Yeah, it looks
See if
like
I
there's 13 different TMNT games in it. Although some of them
13.
are arcade versions of, so they're kind of duplicates, I think, but maybe not though.
I have it down here somewhere. Where is it?
They have
It's the
Tournament Fighters for the
literally
Super Nintendo and Tournament Fighters for the Sega Genesis.
literally the last game. I got my copy of Turtles in Time for the SNES here. It's like the one time, Micah, you're usually the one that's like, "Oh yeah, I got that right here," and you just have it in a bucket next to you somehow.
Are you talking about this?
Oh wait, what is that? Just like some random connector piece.
This has something to do with my mic stand, but I don't need it.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I'm excited for that. The arcade version of Turtles in Time will be a blast to play, especially if it has the option to play with up to 4 players. It's really good. I love the Super Nintendo version of that game. And with it coming, it was announced to be coming this year, and we're also supposed to be getting Shredder's Revenge this year, which is clearly inspired by these games and this time period of game. So
Good game to tide you over.
TMNT, yeah, TMNT video game fans are eating well this year. That's all we have to say. Cowabunga, as they say in that show. All right, moving on.
But do you know which turtle's the first one to say cowabunga?
No. Do you?
No. But if I had to guess, I'd say Michelangelo.
I would say the same, actually. Like, who's the first turtle to say cowabunga? I thought you were about to pull out some like
No,
random
I know like nothing
statistic,
about TMNT.
but you're a Mikey main, and I am a
Oh, for
Donatello main.
sure. Especially in Shredder's Revenge.
Donatello,
His run is so incredible.
yeah, it's true. I'm super pumped for that game. I think both of us and the Nintendo Pals community. So if you're wanting to hype with some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fans, hop on over to our Discord. We got a bunch of people that are super stoked for this game. I think there's going to be a ton of community plays for that. And yeah, it's very arcade beat 'em up experience. I'm pumped for that. Next bit of news we've got coming here: Arceus and Darkrai come to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Interestingly enough, in order to get Arceus in the game, you need to complete all the main missions in Pokemon Legends, and I believe that includes the post-game content. So I think you actually have to complete the whole Pokedex in order to complete all the missions. That is a lot to do to get Arceus in Brilliant Diamond. You essentially have to beat both games all the way through.
At that point, just learn to hack. Hack yourself.
Yes, serious. But you get the event, and that's pretty cool. Darkrai is significantly easier to get. You just have to be in the end game, and you can get it via mystery gift. It's specified that would be between the new moons. I don't know what that means. Sure, make sure you're checking the moon outside when you go and get that mystery gift. It's like, is this new moon? Are we at the next new moon? Who knows? So yeah, if you're interested in picking up Darkrai and Arceus, or whatever, however you want to pronounce it, you pronounce it the way you want. Brilliant Diamond Shiny Pearl. But if you're looking to hunt even more than God himself in Arceus, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak has a scheduled release date of June 30th. And there's new details in a presentation done by Monster Hunter on the expansion.
I haven't heard that too many people are excited about this expansion, though. Sounds like Monster Hunter's kind of just dying out.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Everybody's excited for this. You and
we
me.
Have so many people in our community that are excited for this.
You and me do not know a squat about Monster Hunter. And the free trial ended, and I didn't even get a chance to open it once. I wish I had, but it's just busy, you know.
Yeah, same. I was kind of hoping to try it out, but I didn't manage it over the weekend.
Yeah, I was hoping
to have it going for a full week.
Yes, I think these game trials need to last just a little bit longer. But I guess if they did, then you could complete the game like you did for Captain Toad Treasure Tracker in one free
What?
trial. And they're like, we just want you to have it long enough so you want to buy it.
Well, they
That's
just
the
need to
goal
have limits. Like you can
on
only
how far
progress
you can
so
go.
far or something.
Yeah. Also, as Neoprime points out in chat, new amiibos are coming out with these, and they look classy. They look very nice. Excited for that and seeing how that goes. So here's the details on the expansion. I've kind of got some high level notes for those that didn't check out the presentation, or for those that did and just want to recap. There are going to be 3 main bosses known as the 3 Lords, and they are different monsters to fight. There's like a electricy dragon, a grassy golem, and then one more that I can't remember. There's a brand new hub area, like a little
mystery boss.
a little town. The story of it is going to be that you will be approached by these foreigners that are hunting a specific monster, and they will invite you back with them to their distant homeland in order to help fight the monster, because it's post game and you are a famed monster hunter. So you'll travel there, and there's like a whole dock town. It's very medieval, castle-y themed. Unlike the base game town, which is very traditional, traditional Japan look, I guess Eastern, more Eastern design. This looks very like European design, but same sort of time period, if that makes any sense. Um, and with that, a bunch of new characters and a huge new map to explore. And pre-order, you get a bonus. You get a dog and a cat costume, like a regular dog to go on the Palamute. Palamute. See, this is how little I know. I don't even remember which one's which. For your little dog buddy, he can look like what is the like dog that's in all the memes? Do you know what kind of dog that is? It's like the golden fluffy dog. Yeah, it's Shibu something.
Yeah, I'd say it's she something.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't remember. And then just like a spotted cat. They look like house
Just
pets.
a Shiba,
A
maybe.
Shiba? Maybe that's right. They look like house pets, and I thought that those looked adorable. And so if you're gonna get this, you better get that pre-order, because you're gonna want that. You're gonna want that doggo.
Yeah, that does look pretty cool.
Yeah, Micah, are you excited about this one? I know you're a huge fan
Maybe.
of Kirby music. I'm just pulling that out of nothing. A special Kirby 30th anniversary concert will be live streamed for free on August 11th. I actually am a massive fan of Kirby's music. I haven't played a whole lot of Kirby games, but I listen to a lot of the soundtracks on YouTube and just
Is it
out.
gonna be like an orchestral kind of thing? Or are
I
they
believe
bringing like
so.
Post Malone again? Because I mean, no offense, that was kind of weird. Not gonna lie.
Post Malone singing a cover of some song. Some like, hey, we're bringing this song back for Kirby, and he'll just be flying around. Oh man, I would actually rather enjoy that. I think I
I mean,
had a great time with it.
I would still enjoy it, but I mean, I just the classic, a fancy orchestral
Yeah,
version of some old school Kirby music.
agreed. So mark your calendars for August 11th, where you can tune into that free Kirby anniversary concert. I'm pretty excited for it. Kirby has some absolutely phenomenal music, like just killer soundtracks. So this is one to look out for. I'm definitely going to be listening in on that, or at least watching it in post. Ninfrendo in chat asks, "Is there going to be a lot of sax solos?" Let's hope so.
Oh yeah, we can hope.
Yeah. So next bit of news. following up the Kirby stuff. New games have been added to the Sega Genesis Online, including Light Crusader, Super Fantasy Zone, and Alien Soldier. And at least 2 of these are Treasure games, and Treasure makes some pretty great games. That's who made Gunstar Heroes. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
I might have to check
Yes.
some of these out then.
Definitely we'll have to check these ones out. These were already available in Sega Collections. So if you've purchased Sega Collections previously, this is just a big old slap to the face. Hey, you spent money on something that's free now. It's not really free because
Free
you
if
have
you
to pay.
kind of pay for it.
Yeah, if you pay for the NSO app. But this is the problem with this, like, doubling up, releasing your games through collections, and then also, hey, we're going to put these in these bundles with online memberships, is that, well, which one do you leave the Mario 64 off of? You know, like, so they put it in both, and then you're like, well, I paid for this over here, and now I'm paying for it again, and we do it anyways because, you know, we're just big dummies. No, I bought Mario All Stars and I'm paying for NSO. I have Mario 64 in 2 places if I want to play it. Also have it on my N64, which is right here and can be plugged in very easily. So,
Are there any
listen.
Mario 64s you don't have?
I was about to say I don't have it on the Wii, but technically we do have it on the Virtual Console on the Wii.
Actually, I think I have it on the Virtual Console on Wii. Now that you mention it,
that is a lot of Mario 64. You'd think I'd be good at that game. That is not true. Yeah. So that's it for news. Mike, anything stand?
There was some like dodging in Kirby and the Forgotten Lands.
I just dodged right over this news. Wait, you want to do this? You want to cover this one?
Well, apparently you can dodge in Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, and if you dodge right before an attack, then it like slows time, does some Breath of the Wild-esque flurry rush attacks. But
yeah, did you know about this?
I did not have an opportunity to try that out. But I wonder if maybe it only works when you have the sword ability, would be my guess. Unless there's like a specific flurry rush kind of attack with every ability.
That's true. I didn't the spots I saw it doing the flurry rush. He was not with the sword.
Oh, really? The only one I saw, he had a sword. So that's interesting then. I just kind of assumed it might be a sword.
Oh, I guess not thing. Flurry rush. It was the dodge was without. So maybe I don't know. We'll have to experiment. I didn't know this was a thing at all. I played through the demo twice. And I never encountered this. So there you go. Thought I'd share it here.
Shout out Ninfrendo talking about, I assume, the 3 new Sega Genesis games, saying, well, those are no Vinegar Heroes. And then correcting himself to Gunstar.
Autocorrect. Those are no Vinegar Heroes.
I got a big kick out of that. So thank you for that.
Well,
I was real confused for a second. I was like, Vinegar Heroes? What?
Well,
good old autocorrect, I assume.
That's what we got going in the news. This was an exciting last couple weeks with Hogwarts Legacy getting announced for Switch, TMNT Collection coming, Monster Hunter Rise. This year is stacked. Can I just say that? Because we're supposed to be getting the Harry Potter game at the end of the year. That is also Xenoblade 3 time period, and
probably
Pokemon, new Pokemon, and probably Breath of the Wild 2. I asked this to Eli last week, but are you in team Breath of the Wild 2 is getting delayed, or in team not? It's coming out this year.
Of course it's not getting delayed. When has Nintendo ever delayed a Zelda game?
Okay, well, wait a second.
Come on now.
Don't. Okay, but I really feel strongly it is coming out this year. I feel very strongly that it is coming out this year.
If we don't get anything for E3, I will very quickly change my opinion.
Here's the thing: is I need it now. That's really the only thing. That's why it's coming out this year. I don't know. I feel like waiting. I feel like delaying it. If it's not finished, obviously they want to make it the best game it can be. But if they're just delaying it just because, I feel like you should delay other stuff before Breath of the Wild 2. Sorry, Xenoblade 3 fans, but I would rather have Breath of the Wild 2 for sure. The sequel to the greatest game ever made? Yes, please. There are people that will argue the exact same thing for Xenoblade 3, but you know what? This is my show, and my opinion is king here on this show. So, and Micah's.
Yeah. Our opinion,
which you agree with this, I assume.
Well,
right.
It would have been nice if you had asked first.
Oh man, I don't know why they would delay it. I don't know why it would take so long to develop a game made on the same engine as the last one. Majora's Mask came out a year after Ocarina of Time.
But let's be honest, games were way simpler then.
Way easier.
I mean, they did have like power constraints and things like that. They still have to work on and whatnot. But so much more goes into games nowadays.
It's true. And you got to imagine, like, these are big shoes to fill. I know, I'm seeing a lot of people naysaying Breath of the Wild as not being the greatest Zelda game ever made. And saying, like, it's an okay game. And I just don't listen. I can't fathom that way of thinking. So, so I'm not going to try. Okay. But everybody can feel how they want to feel about the game. But many people believe this is the greatest game ever, like ever made. So following that up is some big shoes to fill, right? And then for those that are unimpressed by Breath of the Wild, it's some big shoes to fill.
Some people think Plock's like a really good game as well. So sometimes people are just interesting.
Yeah, it's like those people that think Ocarina of Time is a bad game.
So
like,
essentially, every
crazy.
game that makes a sequel has kind of big shoes to fill for at least that one person that thinks their game is incredible.
Well, even for the people that weren't as impressed by Breath of the Wild, because a lot of the complaints are it didn't have traditional dungeons, and the story wasn't as gripping as previous Zelda titles. I think that the story was really good, actually.
I just gotta say, story, in my opinion, better than Ocarina of Time story.
Wow.
Just gotta put it out there.
I didn't mean to bring this. I didn't mean to bring Ocarina of Time into this. It's like every time it somehow gets dragged in here. You just want to just kick that dead horse.
You forced me to say this. I actually really enjoyed like finding out the story tidbits and things. Mostly just like finding out about the champions.
Yeah. Well, so in that regard, there are big shoes to fill for the folks that might not be as impressed with Breath of the Wild, and because Breath of the Wild 2 definitely looks like it could do those things, like have bigger dungeons, have better boss battles. I heard that one as well. Like everything is just a giant blob dark Ganon in this game.
I can definitely see that, but they did have some like kind of mini bosses spread around.
Fun,
but
I
definitely see that.
Where it lacks, it makes up for in just the overall everything that it just. I mean, nothing holds a candle to Breath of the Wild as far as open world games go, right? For example, we got Elden Ring out, and it's been out for like 2 weeks, and the glitch hunting and speedrunning scene for it has just broken the game, like beyond repair, breaking the game. Where Breath of the Wild, while it does have some pretty heavy exploits in it, is very, very polished. Like there is not a lot of jank to it. I was even watching someone play Horizon Zero Dawn. I think it was Sean Capri was playing Horizon. not Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh,
He got stuck in a wall from dismounting his horse. And he couldn't do anything. He had to reset, like reload a save point to get out.
Oh,
It's just like you could not accidentally discover something like that in Breath of the Wild. I guess you could, but like it is so polished. Nothing. I don't know. I don't know. That's just my.
I even had, actually, my sister had something happen like that in Golden Sun, which from my playing, I didn't have any bugs or any glitches or anything. But she saved next to a cow, and when she loaded, she was inside the cow and could not move.
Oh,
and
no.
then restarted her game, and a couple months later, we found out there's actually when starting up the game, you can hit some certain buttons, and it takes you back to the last like sanctum or sanctuary. I can't remember what they're called.
Oh, so she restarted the whole game
for no reason. Yeah.
Oh,
that was rough.
That is rough. That is super rough.
Yes. To be fair, get into random walls isn't too crazy.
Yeah,
it hasn't happened to me in Breath of the Wild. So,
I've clipped through walls, but that is like on purpose, trying very hard to clip through those walls. Yeah, it's just a solid game, and I'm very excited for the sequel. I think there's nothing more I'm anticipating more, except for Nintendo Switch Sports, of course.
And Prime 4.
That's coming out. That's coming out much sooner. 1 month. We're 1 month from the greatest game ever coming out.
I'm 1 month from not buying that game.
That hurts me. It hurts me deeply.
Excited.
It hurts me deeply. Well, let's move to the next segment of our show before I, start crying and go to the rumor mill. All right, my guy. This is exciting stuff. Over in the rumor mill, where we have our little rumor mining Pikmin, we have sent the Pikmin into the data mines, and they have found hints at what some of the new courses coming to the Mario Kart 8 booster pack are. That is right. I don't have the name of the data miner who found these, but shout out to the people that did that and do that. There were some hints found referencing levels in the game that are not there yet, that were added as part of the 2.0 update. And those courses include Sydney Sprint from Mario Kart Tour, New York Minute from Tour, Singapore Speedway from Tour, and Sydney Sprint again from Tour. I don't know where I copied this list from, but it has it there twice. And then Mario Circuit from the SNES, Sunset Wilds from the SNES. I don't remember that one. I don't know if that's actually a level. That does not sound like an SNES level. That sounds like a GameCube level. They didn't name things like Sunset Wilds in SNES. They named them like Mario Circuit, and then on the next one would be Mario Circuit 2, Mario Circuit 3. Like Sunset Wilds, that doesn't sound like I don't think that's right. DK Summit from the Wii, Maple Treeway from the Wii.
Yeah, like DK Summit is like one of the two on this list. I recognize the name.
I loved that level. Do you remember that one? It's the snowboarding one. Shoots you out of the cannon. You have the half pipes. Oh, that's a great level. And Maple Treeway is also a really good level.
Actually, that one does. I think I remember that one too.
Waluigi Stadium from Double Dash.
And that's the other one I remember.
Rainbow Road from the 3DS, which is a very good version of Rainbow Road. I believe that's the one where you transfer between Rainbow Road and driving on the surface of like the moon, and then back onto the Rainbow Road.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, it's very good. Merry Mountain from Tour, Vancouver Velocity from Tour. Here it is. Sunset Wilds GBA. That makes more sense. Okay, so Sunset Wilds was from the GBA one. And then Vanilla Lake from the SNES. Vanilla Lake, I really liked that level as a kid.
I don't think I ever played it.
It's a snow level, but with a huge lake in the middle. So yeah, it's all of these I think are going to be really cool levels. I have not played enough Mario Kart Tour to recognize any of these. I maybe have played New York Minute. Maybe. It's interesting that these are just like real world places. It's like New York Minute, Singapore Speedway, Vancouver Velocity. Like, okay, sure. That wraps up all the courses that are coming to the game. Micah, are there any courses that you were telling me you don't really remember too many? Are there any courses that you do remember that you would like to see come back?
Well, there's that one volcano level where the level falls apart. That one's cool. That might even be in the game for all I know.
It is. Grumble
Okay,
Volcano. Yep.
right on. Grumble Volcano. That's a good one.
Yeah, that one is in 8.
There's a Bowser's
I
Castle one that's fun. That might also be in the game.
I would really like to see Waluigi Pinball come in. I love the music in that track. It's a very unique design.
That sounds like you just made it up.
No, I didn't. You haven't played Waluigi
I have not
Pinball?
played Waluigi Pinball.
So the beginning is a cannon, and you go through like the pinball. It's like the pinball shooter. So it's like shoots you up, and then you are driving essentially down a pinball machine with like the tracks. There's marbles rolling that can hit you.
That sounds awesome.
It is an extremely cool level. Very, very off the wall design, and the soundtrack is like absolute fire. It is amazing. It is so good. Besides that, I would also really love to see a comeback for the Woohoo Island courses. There were 2 of them. One that you drive all the way to the top of the volcano and then glide down to the finish line. And then another one that just kind of drives in a big circle around the map. That's the map from Wii Sports Resort. And also it was in Wii Fit and several other games was featured. Love that place. I really liked the level design for that one because you drive by everything on the island and it's just really unique. I just really like the kind of like off the wall unique levels, you know? That's why I'm excited to see DK Summit and Maple Treeway in here. Those are really good ones. Maple Treeway has a really good soundtrack as well. But I think besides that, I can't really think of any. I would love to see more Super Nintendo courses. Maybe we bring some more N64 ones, like the Calamari Desert. That's iconic with the train that goes around.
Oh, definitely. Iconic. Everyone
And
knows that
then
one.
the DK Jungle from the N64. I don't know if you remember
that's
that
a good one.
Where like
Actually, I do remember.
They throw coconuts at you if you go off the track.
I don't remember getting coconuts thrown at me though.
Yeah, like spiky coconuts get thrown at you if you drive onto the grass at any point. Yeah, those are good levels.
I guess maybe I'm just so good at the game.
So good at the game.
Never driven in the grass.
Oh man. So yeah, that's all we got going in the rumor mill. Data miner finding out what courses are coming early. So yeah, I mean, there's no way to tell if these for sure are coming, but I think it's a pretty safe bet we'll see at least some of these. Are you a Waluigi Stadium fan or a Wario Stadium fan? What's your preference?
I'm a Luigi Circuit fan.
Oh, okay. You're more a Luigi Circuit kind of guy. I think between the two, Wario Stadium, I like a little bit more.
Oh, really? Over Waluigi?
Mm-hmm. I think Waluigi I want Waluigi Pinball. That's the Waluigi level we need. We don't need Waluigi Stadium. We have Wario for that. We need Waluigi Pinball. Man, there's so many good ones now that I'm thinking about it. We have in chat here, Napsy says they should just add every single Rainbow Road and all of the Bowser castles. Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Those are all like really good levels.
The last 2 packs will just be Bowser's Castle pack and Rainbow Road pack.
It's just all of them in one. That would be pretty great. Well, that wraps up the rumor mill. So let's head on over to the community corner. And in today's community corner, we've got a couple questions. But first off, I want to invite you, listener, to join up our Discord where you can submit and send in questions and topics you'd like to see us cover as part of the show. Links to that are in the description of the podcast or video, depending on where you're watching. So check it out. Come join. It's a great group of people over there. Absolute blast talking about games. And maybe you'll see news before anybody else does. That is all credit to Monkey Thunder, though, because he's like 90% on top of that. But also we've got Frosticles from across the pond over in Europe, and so he will sometimes catch news before anybody because he is awake before everybody else. And we have listeners from all over the world that have joined into our Discord. It's so cool. It's really cool to see how Nintendo pals can cross boundaries and borders, and everybody can be a Nintendo pal. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't mean to go all like philosophical, like bring us all together with that, but that's just kind of the way it is, We got all walks of life, and all are welcome to join. So yeah, hit up our Discord, and you could submit a question just like Hambone Johnny, who asks, do you think that Nintendo would ever attempt to develop a first-person Mario or Legend of Zelda game? Why or why not?
I mean, we do already have Link's crossbow training, so
I guess that was technically first person for a lot of that. Yeah. The points where you play with Link are third person. But I guess are you always playing as Link? No.
Maybe. I assumed you were Link shooting the crossbow, were you not? Or is Link training you to shoot the crossbow?
Oh, who knows? The deep lore of Link's crossbow training. Stay tuned for a future episode where we cover that. That's a great game. That is a fantastic little side game, by the way. I think everybody ought to try it. You just go, man, I wish this was a full game instead of just like random arcade mini games. But oh well. Yeah. That could have been Metroid Prime 3. It could have been. Playing with the Wii Zapper, that would have been awesome. I've been all for that. So do you think they'll make?
I don't think there'll be any mainline things. Like maybe some sort of small spin-off kind of game, kind of like Link's crossbow training.
Yeah.
But I think if they're going to make...
Speaking of, All in the chat says he wants to second Link's crossbow training. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Seth. I totally derailed you there. You think they'll games?
They might make a side game like that, but if they're going to make a full game in those perspectives, I think they'd make, or at least use, another IP. They'd create a different character for those games, because instead of just putting, because I mean, you make Mario first person, and if it's the same like running from point to point, it becomes a very different game.
Yeah,
I feel like. So they would just make a different game with a different character,
with a different IP
for that kind of game.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense, actually. So you're saying no, and you give some excellent. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to take the opposite side here, and here's why. I think that eventually, Nintendo is going to try and make a jump into the VR market. And if they do, we will probably get a first-person Zelda game.
I thought you were going to go with first-person Mario. It's like,
I don't know if that would
go
Mario.
Well. So ill. I would die. All that jumping in VR.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I would. Yeah, that would make
the motion sickness would be off the charts for me.
But I could totally see a VR Breath of the Wild. In fact, someone already made a fan game version of Breath of the Wild where you can play the Great Plateau in VR. I believe it's through VR Chat. That app. And it was pretty cool looking. So I definitely think there's a space for that as the technology progresses and becomes mainstream. That completely reminds me, and I totally forgot to talk about this in the news bit. Reggie was recently on an interview with, I don't know who, but Bloomberg picked up an article, and you know how I feel about Bloomberg. I am still very angry at them for inflating the Switch Pro rumors. So Bloomberg's the worst. But but no, I tease. I joke. I joke. I don't actually care about what Bloomberg thinks. But they posted a video clip from this interview where Reggie was being asked by the interviewer about VR, about Meta and the metaverse. And wow, Reggie threw some pretty nasty shade at Facebook. It was pretty gnarly. He was coming out Reginator strong, you know. He's out here, and it was really interesting. I mean, it was very professional. He didn't come out here and he's like,
bunch of nerds.
Facebook. Yeah. But he basically said metaverse, he thinks like already is coming to light through places like Fortnite, through places like Roblox. And he's like, I think gaming is going to push that sphere the most. And they asked specifically, like, well, what do you think about metaverses play into that? And he goes like, Facebook is not an innovative company. He's like, they're not. They're not. Besides the original product of Facebook, everything else that they have acquired through other means, and that's Instagram. He lists Oculus, and so a lot of this, like, they just are not an innovative company. And he specifically said that innovation is not going to come from them, because innovation has to come from a space where you put your customer first. And he was like, I don't think they put their customer first. I think they put the advertising and the investors first in their product. Whereas working somewhere like Nintendo, it's like a more customer first mentality. And I mean, it was pretty nasty. He was throwing down on Facebook. So Reggie, awesome job, man. Like, he clearly wasn't a very, he didn't have a huge love of Facebook. But he also was talking about how he does not think that they are going to be the ones to push. He's like, I don't want to see metaverse coming through that, but it could come through other spaces. And he feels like AR is the technology that will get more into the metaverse versus VR. So we'll see. I mean, we're getting all sorts of off topic here with Tambo Johnny's question, but I mean, he is asking about first person perspective, so VR is where my mind went. VR has been around for a while, and it feels like while the technology is progressing, it's still not mainstream.
Yeah, it still hasn't really caught on.
And both you and I are big fans of VR. You have an Oculus Rift, and I played a lot of that Oculus Rift. That's my experience. I am a game system moocher, I am just now realizing, because that's how I started on the Switch as well. But yeah, I was like, it's really cool technology. The games for it can be very fun, but it's not quite there yet, and Nintendo's not in it yet. That's what I'm saying. Like, once Nintendo breaks in, it's game over. VR is going to be mainstream, but I don't know if they're exactly interested in it.
Yeah, well, it's like the bigger companies aren't really making new games and things for VR because the player base isn't there yet to justify spending so much time and money to make this really big VR game.
And you don't have the IP to bring the player base over.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, there have been some big IP VR like-ish games. Like, they did the Iron Man one and several others, but those are not audience pullers for the gaming space, especially for the VR space.
I mean, they have Skyrim VR, but it's like the 37th version of that game. So
yeah, we were just talking about that last week. Eli was talking about how he's been playing through that. It's cool. It's very cool. But I think once if Nintendo breaks into it, it's gonna have some legs. Or PlayStation, which PlayStation's sort of halfway doing it with they're bringing it in as a support thing with PSVR. I don't think Xbox is doing anything with it other than they're like, yeah, you can have Game Pass on any VR headset. So like, I don't think they're specifically looking to develop for that tech, but Nintendo has the IP to make it big. I think if that's the way to play the next Zelda, the next Mario, people will buy it.
Yeah, but also kind of the problem with VR is some people just get so motion sick that they can't really play like any games, at least not certain kinds of games. So that also partially limits the potential player base.
Yeah, there just has to be something that cracks, and it just seems like the technology has been pretty. Not, I'm saying stagnant here. That's not right. The tech is not stagnant, but the growth for it becoming mainstream has been pretty stagnant. It's been we're trying, and it's just not breaking through. Yeah, it's so cool though. If you get the opportunity to try it out, you will enjoy that time. But right now, it still feels very much in tech demo zone.
Yeah. So
Like
in other words, maybe eventually there'll be a first-person Mario.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. That is 100% what I'm saying. I do not think this will happen anytime soon. A first-person Zelda game, I think it would make sense if Nintendo adopts a VR system. That's what they're going to do next. Virtual Boy 2, coming in here. And if they do that, then a first-person perspective Zelda game would make a lot of sense.
But what if you do a backflip? How you handling that in VR?
That is a good question.
Because I mean, they can't just change it to like a jump back. It has to be a backflip. Classic Link dodge mechanic.
Maybe he does a backflip, but you just can't see it. Your camera stays in that perspective, but it's like, yeah, trust us, guys.
I think your camera has to move with your like head in the back.
Maybe you just see your like
full
body
immersion,
go like full in front of you. Your legs just like flip over your head, but you stay in the same position.
The legs just rotate around.
Oh man. Thanks so much for the question, Hambo Johnny. I hope you liked that long tangent we went off on VR, and it brought us to more news that I'd forgotten to mention with Reggie. That was such a cool thing. Definitely check it out. I was tempted to bring in a clip, but I don't know if there's like copyright issues with that. Just bring the clip in where he's talking, but we won't do that. Go check it out. Spider-Shan then is the next question. Comes from Spider-Shan, asks, what item from an old Mario Kart would you like to see come back? I am not Googling what Mario Kart items are out there.
Yeah. Who would do that? Fake item boxes?
Oh my gosh. Those are gone?
Maybe? I didn't come across any while we were playing.
I know, you were right. They're gone.
I mean, they could bring back the Lucky 7. But that'd be kind of weird because they have the Crazy 8.
The Crazy 8 is the Lucky 7, just with one more thing in it, I think.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my pick. Fake item boxes. That is such a good pick, Micah. I was also going to say I liked the I don't really like it, but it was kind of fun to have the mushroom cloud.
Oh yeah, that was kind of fun.
It was like the mushroom cloud, the lightning cloud.
I think it's called the thunder cloud, actually. Just looking at the top of my head stuff.
The thunder cloud,
or is the thunder cloud the one that actually shrinks?
So what happens?
Shrinks. The thunder cloud. I'll let you explain.
What happens is the thunder cloud. If you get that item, you automatically get a cloud over your head, and you start driving. Your speed picks up extremely fast while the cloud is charging up. And if you bump into another player, you give the cloud to them. They get the speed boost. But eventually, the cloud drops lightning on that specific player. So you want to use it as much as you can and then hit someone with it so they get zapped. So it's like an interesting like in-game strategy of timing, how to get rid of that.
Yeah, that was a fun one. It can be unfortunate when there's no one around.
Yes.
So you like can't give it to someone, but it like kind of offsets anyways. But you're kind of just out an item.
It was only in one game. And that is the Wii version of the game.
Plus, the Super Leaf was pretty cool.
It was all right. I didn't think it was that cool. I was maybe this is just me. I was a little fed up of the Tanuki craze at that point. They're like, let's put the tail on everything. They added it to Smash Bros. All over in Mario everywhere.
I'm just imagining all the times I could have today slapped red shells away from me.
That's true. It is a nice little defender against that sort of thing. That's.
Do they really call the blue shell the spiny shell?
I believe so. Yeah.
Weird.
I liked the feather. But a lot of people felt like it was kind of useless. But I liked it on the Super Nintendo because you could take some wacky shortcuts with it, like jumping walls and stuff. They do have the feather in this game, but it is only available in battle mode.
I was like, can't you jump over people with the feather and you like steal one of their balloons or something?
Yeah. It's only available in battle mode, and over there, it just seems like why would you have that? Like it would be better, I guess. But mushrooms also steal
a
items.
balloon. That's
like if you run into them with a mushroom. It just feels like semi-redundant. Like, hey, we brought the feather back. Are you happy, fans?
It needs to let you jump a couple times or something. So I think it's just once and done, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then
it should be something you like activate, and then for the next 5 seconds or whatever, you can jump whenever you want.
I don't know. There's a lot of items in the game. I'm looking at this list of what items are not in the game. So Thundercloud, Super Leaf, POW Block. POW Block doesn't make sense to bring back. That was just it's lightning. It's lightning. It
that
stuns
you can
everybody.
Dodge.
What?
By jumping.
You can dodge it by jumping?
I'm like 95% sure. I'm doubting myself a little bit now that you're making that face, but I'm pretty sure.
No way. I'm not great at these games, so that would make sense.
If you jump at the right time, you dodge it.
Oh, Mega Mushroom that grows super huge. That would be fun. That would be really fun to bring back. Yeah, POW Block was replaced by the music blocks. What Napsy's pointing out here. I'd say they're pretty similar, but not quite. The POW Block was hit everybody like lightning did, and I guess you could dodge it. I like the Mega Mushroom because you could squish players.
They'd have the flattened animation. I managed to squish a player today while we played, but just because they were still shrunk from the lightning. Good times.
And yeah, fake item box. I am so surprised they got rid of the fake item box for 7 and for 8. Why'd they do that? That doesn't make any sense.
Actually, I feel like that's like a real good item to have.
Yeah. Who knows, man? It's weird. Well, that's all the questions we got for this week. Micah, I guess we've answered this before, but are there any characters that were in previous games that you would like to see come back for Mario Kart
8? Past characters from Mario Kart 8? I can't think of any.
I remember you could play as Wiggler in 7, I believe. I thought that was a cool addition. Here we go. I got a list up of characters missing.
I looked up. You can kind of avoid the POW block Not really by jumping. It's the same button you do to do a trick going off of a jump. If you do that right when it hits, you still lose your items you had, and you still do like a 360, but you don't lose any speed. So you can't completely avoid it.
Why are there so many characters missing? Okay, so Birdo is not playable right now. That one kind of makes sense to me. Bring Birdo back. Diddy Kong. Let's bring Diddy Kong back for
Oh
sure.
yeah, or just give him his own Diddy Kong Racing game.
Diddy Kong Racing 2 for sure. Donkey Kong Jr. He was playable in the very first Mario Kart game. Instead of Donkey Kong, we had Donkey Kong Jr. I can't believe that, like, what characters we do have versus ones we don't. Like, we have a baby character for every princess and Mario and Luigi, but we don't have Birdo or Diddy Kong. Like, what? Funky Kong?
Well, now you're just naming all the Kongs.
Funky Kong was in the last game. Not the last
But
one. He
did
was
he
in the Wii.
need to be?
Yeah, good point. No. if we're going with Kongs, Diddy Kong comes back, Funky Kong can stay off. Honey Queen, that was the one. Yep. One appearance, and that is Mario Kart 7, I believe. Yep.
I think it's time for a baby Yoshi.
That would be fun.
Not to
That would
bring
be
back,
fun.
just to have one.
How about baby Wario and baby Waluigi?
No, we don't need those.
Oh, I'd be all for that. Koopa Paratroopa, which was in Double Dash as one of the partners. Pauline. It shows has no appearances. Why is she on this list? What? Pauline would be a good addition, but if they're not here. Maybe she was in Tour. Oh yeah, she is in Tour.
There's like
I'm
a bunch of people in Tour.
Yeah, let's bring in like everybody from Tour, man. All the costumes from Tour as well. Like, why not? Why not bring those to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Why not make the costumes like 50 cents a piece? Like, hey, I want an extra Waluigi costume, like they do with the Mii costumes for the Mii fighters in Smash Bros. Like, that would be really cool. Rob, I've mentioned in my top 5 characters I wanted in Mario Kart. Wiggler. There, yep, I already mentioned Wiggler.
Just give us
And
Goomba Stack from Dr. Mario. I think that's Dr. Mario, at least.
And I think that's everything that I am seeing here. We're missing Donkey Kong Jr. And yeah, that's it for characters that have been added. What's wild is like Birdo first made an appearance in Double Dash, probably to be a double partner with Yoshi, I'm assuming. And then was in Mario Kart Wii, but was in nothing else. It's like, what? Birdo's like,
I feel like they kind of abandoned Birdo.
Yeah, why?
I think of what have they been in?
Mario
recently?
Golf.
Are they in Mario
Tennis?
Golf?
Yeah, and Mario Party.
Oh,
and Mario Party.
Guess they haven't abandoned them that much.
Actually, in both Mario Parties on the Switch, Birdo is in there. She's getting Waluigi treatment, where it's like, hey, you are in these side games in all of them, but you're not going to be in the big ones like Mario Kart. At least Waluigi's here. You know, they could have really ruined my day, pulled Waluigi out
and made my day. I would have felt bad for you eventually, but
you just
initially
like to see me
I would have
suffer.
laughed.
Yeah. Petey Piranha? What was he in? Was he in Double Dash? It looks like it. I don't remember that. King Boo. Oh yeah, well, yeah. You're just racing against King Boo. Anyways, I'm like going off here now on this list, just looking at all the characters that aren't in. Out of all those, I most want Diddy Kong, and Birdo deserves a shot. I think Birdo deserves a spot on the roster more than Gold Mario or Pink Gold Peach and Metal Mario. Like,
yeah, but those are easy to make.
Yes, but those should be alt costumes to Mario and Peach. And here's my gripe, and here's what I would like to see in the next Mario Kart game is just costumes. They have them for the Mii's.
They don't even have racing. They just have costumes.
I just want more character customization. I feel like that I could care less if we customize the karts. I could absolutely care less if we customize the karts.
Dare you?
But if we have to trade for different karts versus costumes for the characters, I'll pick costumes for the characters.
But the kart customization affects your racing.
True. How do you feel about that? Do you like it? Because what it does is it creates a meta for this game. Not Meta, the Facebook company. Meta as in there is a best kart to play with. It's not balanced like Smash Bros. Everybody online that is playing competitively is playing Waluigi, Wiggler Car, Tiny Wheels, because that is the ideal racing combination. I kid you not. That is it. At least as of right now, until something better's found. So that's not fun. That's not fun to me.
What? How dare you?
Making it so that there is a specific combination that is the best combination. Like there needs to be a better balancing that will make
maybe
it so.
Maybe it needs to be balanced better, but I think it allows you to play as your favorite character, but also not be locked into your favorite character's stats, essentially.
Yes, but what if they just didn't have those? Then you could play as your favorite character.
Insane.
Then you can play as your favorite character because now
have them
competitively, you are locked into playing as Waluigi. If you
but the question is, who cares? Who cares about playing Mario Kart competitively?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like.
Plus, you should enjoy all the Waluigis driving around.
I mean, I do. I'm a big supporter of Waluigi, but I don't like the idea of there being a best character and kart combo that is better than all the others. Because then then all of that stuff goes out the window. Because you're like, well, why pick other karts? Unless you really want to play as these other characters, but it's not going to be as good as Waluigi in a Wiggler car.
Probably not even that good.
I feel like I would be okay with them completely removing that mechanic, the stat changes, and that everything is cosmetic. Yep. And so you pick your character and you pick.
What if you wanted to play as a faster person? What if you wanted to drive extra fast?
Then get good and drive extra fast.
But there's a limit to how fast you can drive.
Right. Then it's fair, and it's about skill and taking the turns, not about I have the best combo.
You're going to try and make an argument about making Mario Kart a game about just skill? Are you insane? Obviously, there's skill involved, but this has to be the most luck-based racing game in the history of the world.
It also has to be the most popular racing game in the history of the world.
Exactly. So who cares about making it all about skill? Just drive like what you want and have fun.
Even
who cares
then,
if it's not
I feel like
balanced?
Having the stats makes that not as fun. Like, why have that? It should be about okay, or we can leave the stats in, but you can pick whatever you want. You
can practically do that anyways.
For your kart and your character cosmetically, and then you go, but I want these stats. Maybe a system I would like to see is a stat allocation system where it's like you get this many points and you get to pick how you want to organize those. Then you still have that fun for those who want to, and it's just a default like.
But then you wouldn't know people's stats just by looking at them. I mean, granted, I don't know the car customization.
Nobody's going to know that.
But based off of the characters, I generally know. Or else you get this Toad, you're like, I'm Bowser, I can bump this chump. And then he bumps into you and you fly off the map into the sun and die.
With weight, that makes sense. I concede to that point. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but that mostly just involves weight, what I'm saying.
Yeah. but speed and stuff that doesn't make a ton of sense. And
Because
I don't know. I don't know. I just kind of want it to be.
I feel it
I
just
want more
seems like you
cosmetics.
care a little too much about winning while playing Mario Kart.
I don't care about winning. I care about balance, and I feel like it's imbalanced. When there is a best cart to play, that's lame. I want there to be at
A
least multiple
best
best
kart to
carts.
play. But that probably also depends on what items you're using too. Because you'd want a faster car with less dangerous items. But if you're playing with
Right.
only red shells, you
Right.
need
We're
to
gonna play.
change
Okay.
that
Oh
up.
yeah. I mean,
Strategy.
now it's gonna be like, oh yeah, we're gonna be playing. Everybody's gonna be Mario, standard cart, standard wheels, Mario Circuit, no items. It's like Fox, Final
Yeah,
Destination, no
this is the
items.
path you're leading us down by
That's
getting
where I'm
rid of
trying to go with
stats.
it. I feel like that's kind of the opposite of where I want to go with it. I want to make it so you can play with anything and be anybody you want to be.
That's like playing Smash Brothers, and I want to be Yoshi, but I want to have the move set of Ganondorf, which I think that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
There you go.
First of all,
Okay, here's something that came up while we were playing today. Double dash mode.
oh yeah, that would be awesome.
That
I've
should
been
be a
wanting to
thing.
bring back double dash mechanics forever.
Yeah, a lot of people. Okay, Micah, can I bring up this is going to get controversial. You know, you're already arguing with me about the stats thing, so let's come into this.
Just don't say something stupid.
I'm about to say something offensive. Okay, I'm about to say something offensive to GameCube fans. That's right. Yeah. So I will choose my words wisely, as the look you are giving me implies I should do. It seems like people that owned a GameCube, especially if it was one of their first consoles, cannot move past the games that were on GameCube. I see so many comments that are like, Mario Kart Double Dash was the best Mario Kart. None of them have been good since Mario Kart Double Dash.
It's kind of true.
It's not true. That's so false. They're so fun. They're all still fun, and they're all really good.
They're fun, but they don't have that double cart mechanic
And
that
it's
was
the same
awesome.
thing. It's the same thing with Smash Bros.
Well,
It's the same thing with
I don't actually
Zelda.
particularly agree about
It's
Smash
the
Bros. To be
same
honest, Zelda a
thing
little bit, yeah.
with the Mario, which is
Yeah.
so wrong and not
You're
okay.
Well, maybe Nintendo shouldn't have made such incredible GameCube games then.
Seriously, but
They
I
set
just
the bar
noticed this
too
pattern.
high.
I just noticed this pattern. I'm on a lot of Discords. I see online discourse on Twitter, on social medias, and I see so many Micahs out there that are stuck on the GameCube. People, go play the GameCube then. All right? Stop trying to make it seem like it's the greatest thing ever.
Okay. But it kind of is. 1,000-Year Door.
Well, okay, 1,000-Year Door is maybe an exception.
Find 3 people in the entire world that don't think 1,000-Year Door is better than every Paper Mario game that came out after.
Paper Mario 1,000-Year Door is definitively the best one.
And Kirby's Air Ride?
Debatable on if that's the best Kirby game.
Debatable?
That's the only Kirby Air Ride game.
Yeah, and it's still pretty much the greatest Kirby game.
I don't know. I don't know about that, but I think so. I think Kirby Air Ride's the best Kirby game. I'm just saying. I'm here to start fights with GameCube owners, but it's okay because, Micah, we're a duo, so they can't get mad at Nintendo pals. They're just getting mad at Andros. So
exactly. TP is house. Throw eggs, but then wash them off the day after, because that can damage paint and stuff or something.
Yeah, good call.
Actually, I don't know that from personal experience. Actually, I do.
Listen,
I just think being egged.
I just think the GameCube had fantastic games, but I think people got stuck, and they need to get unstuck because Zelda, for sure, has had amazing games since Wind Waker. The thing that bothers me most about this is how many games that are getting stuck, that people get stuck on going, Mario Sunshine is the greatest 3D Mario ever made. I'm like, that game is straight up not finished. It is finished, but they ran out of time. Like, Miyamoto has made explicitly clear that the game was not where he wanted it to be on release. And you can tell it's broken. It has broken
incredible
stuff in it.
It is a fantastic
and people can't
game.
move on. Like, stop. It is not the greatest 3D Mario game ever. It is probably the worst 3D Mario game.
You shut your
all.
dirty mouth.
Okay, name one 3D Mario that is worse than Mario Sunshine.
64.
No, you don't think that. That's not.
Yes, I do.
What?
It's easy. It's an easy choice.
Okay, name two. What's
Mario
your second
64
pick?
On the 3DS.
Does that count? It's the same game. Mario 64.
I will say, I do think Mario Sunshine and I might say it's better than Mario Galaxy 2. Just because that's kind of more the same old Mario Galaxy. But I think...
I mean, like, objectively, though, Mario Galaxy 2 is probably better, but anytime they do, like, a direct sequel like that, it's not quite... Yeah. I mean, it's like New Super Mario Bros. And then New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and then Wii U, and also New Super Mario Bros. 2. And then, you know, like, they're all good games, but by the Wii U, you're like, this game sucks because it's just been done 4 times.
Well, name a better Metroid Prime game than Metroid Prime.
That's not possible. Also, half the series, more than half the series, and soon to be half the series, came out on the GameCube.
2/3.
Listen, I'm just saying that you guys have an absolute fun time with your GameCube games, but I'm going to keep having fun with new stuff and not having to constantly come on to my social medias and be like, wow, this one wasn't as good as the GameCube version. That's exactly what you sound like, Micah.
Maybe Nintendo should make some better games then.
We're losing. I'm hurt.
Hey, I
just had to bring it out here. I had to get this out in the open. This is a confession that I'm holding some pent up aggression towards GameCube.
You're
fanboys.
Just showing how ignorant you are from never having a GameCube.
I'm just sick of hearing about how amazing the game was there when I know, because I have now played Wind Waker. You played Mario Sunshine.
I've now played 2 of the 70 games people have been talking about.
I played Kirby Air Ride. I played Melee. I played Double Dash. I played so many GameCube games. So many. I've named all of the ones I can think of that I've played. But they're not as good as all the other ones in the series. To say that that's where they peaked. To say that that's where they peaked is wrong.
They really are.
No, they're not. How could you say that?
I'll take Kirby Air Ride over any Kirby game. I'd take Wind Waker over any Zelda game besides Breath of the Wild, which I've already talked about my points for.
Oh well, that's true. I forgot. Your Wind Waker number 1. I forgot. Again, proving my point. GameCube fans just can't get off the GameCube.
Wind Waker's number 2 behind Breath of the Wild.
Right.
Clarify. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But again, I'd say like Twilight Princess is my number 2, and that's also a GameCube game. So.
Oh, what's that? Are you saying? Are you telling me that Legend of Zelda peaked on the GameCube after all this? Huh.
Wasn't there only one game in between those, though, with Skyward Sword?
Between?
I'm pretty sure. I guess there were the ones on handheld.
No, it went Wind Waker,
Twilight Princess,
and
that's
then
what I'm saying.
Skyward Sword.
And then Skyward Sword, and then Breath of the Wild. There's only there's not really a lot of time to peak again. That's what I'm saying. But then they did with Breath of the Wild. But
I don't know,
Micah. I am seeing people say. I've seen.
So what you're telling me is there are only 2 games between Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, and I'm saying it definitely peaked after Wind Waker with Twilight Princess. I haven't played Twilight Princess in a while, though. I can't really give it a fair assessment. I want to play it again. Right after all the other bazillion games coming out this year. Anyways, I hope I didn't too badly offend too many GameCube fans. Micah put me through the ringer. And we're still friends. We're still pals. I hope.
Hopefully I just break my camera. No.
Micah has left the chat. What a time. I feel like I got something off my chest at least, really saying how I feel about it. And you know what's nice is that there isn't really a counter that can be made where they're like, well, Andros, you and your every other Nintendo system like you can't smack on like the system I love because I just love them all. I think all Nintendo systems are fantastic. And games on all of them are pretty fantastic too. Yeah. I didn't get stuck on one console is what I'm trying to say.
That's because you never had a GameCube. It doesn't count.
I mean, I had you as a friend. So I had a GameCube vicariously. Which we did play. We did play Melee on occasion. I had in chat as a friend. We're just polarizing even more. You know how we were talking about how we didn't want to get into polarizing issues here, and like we're not going to dive into politics, but let's talk about GameCube versus.
Then you just made the most insane comment I've ever heard in my life.
Welcome back, Micah. It's great to have you back from a week-long hiatus. Things have gone off the rails, as you can see. I've lost.
You've gone a little too comfortable being crazy with these things you say.
Well, Micah, with these crazy things I say, that wraps up our show. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us here tonight. This has been a blast. I actually really enjoyed talking about the GameCube because, I mean, I jest a lot with the whole like GameCube move on, but there are a lot of people that get stuck on a specific game in the series that they love. This is just in general. I truly do feel like it is okay. It is okay, but you do not have to smack on the new game in the series every time and bring up, well, this will never be as good as good old Pitfall on the Atari. That was the best jumping platforming game I ever played, and it'll never be able to match that. Like, I just feel like that's not helpful to gaming discourse in any way, shape, or form. So that's me. Micah, you disagree?
I'm not saying
got ourselves a Pitfall fan here. I'm just kidding. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and let's close this out. What do you say, Micah? Where is the button to do that? It's right here. Here it is. If you would like to send angry comments my way or Micah's way, depending on how you feel about the GameCube, hit us up on social media. We are on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, and we are also on Discord. Again, invite, welcome to all. It's a family-friendly, completely non-toxic, and amazing group of people to chat with from all walks of life. Please check out all of our video content. We do streams over on Twitch. Maybe you're watching it live right now. Maybe you're watching a VOD of it on Twitch right now. Thank you so much for the support we've gotten there. Come over and drop a follow as we're reaching that 1,000 followers. And YouTube. We're really trying hard to grow on YouTube. YouTube's a fantastic platform if you can get going on there. And so we need your help to do that. And yeah, just search Nintendo Pals. You'll find us. Links to all this stuff in the description of the show. Special thanks to our friend and the amazingly talented musician, Roger Pollard, for the logo and theme music that we use for the intro and outro of our episode. If you want to check out more of his work, links to his stuff are in the description as well. with that, Micah, am I forgetting anything?
Probably.
Leave us a 5-star review. We'll give you a shout out on the show. We absolutely love and absolutely need those 5-star reviews. The only way we can grow is with your help. So thank you, everybody. And with that, I'll turn it over to Micah for a closing remark.
Gaming peaked with the GameCube.
We'll talk to you all next week.